It's Monday, the 29th of January 2018, and welcome to Navigating Your Day. 29 is a 2, and 2 is the number of wisdom. Now, this is the wisdom to appreciate that this is a dualistic universe that we live in, and that everything consists of equal opposites, which means that essentially war and peace go together, happy and sad go together, good and bad go together, success and failure go together. And even though they seem to be completely opposite polarities, they're actually entangled with one another, and you can't have one without the other. It's also that pain and pleasure go together, that support and challenge go together. So 29, because it's not a 2 in the physical sense, it's a more mental and emotional and maybe even spiritual 2. The 2 of today in the 29 helps us to appreciate the wisdom of what it is that we need in order to be fully nurtured, and what the drawbacks are of that and what the benefits are of that. And that no matter what you choose, everything you choose is going to have an equal and opposite number of benefits and drawbacks, or pain and pleasure. They're just going to be a different set of circumstances. And so this is why we want to cultivate awareness, because awareness gives us a choice. Awareness helps us choose which set of circumstances we would prefer. So 2 is the number of nurture. 2 is also the number of family. It's about nurturing your family, whoever you might consider to be your family. That's not necessarily only your biological family, and it's about nurturing yourself. So the question you want to ask today is, what do I need to nurture myself spiritually today? Because remember, you can't give what you don't have. So if you want to be a light in the world, if you want to offer a service to other people, if you want to help other people, if you want to make a difference, you have to give everything you want to give everyone else to yourself first. And the energy of the 2 from the 29 helps us to connect with that today. Of course, we've got 2 2s in the root of the life map, 2 from the 29th and the 2 from 2018. And so we really have the opportunity to connect to this balanced energy and the wisdom of knowing that support and challenge always go together. We may, on the other hand, find ourselves caught in the polarity where we go, oh my God, I can't believe how much my life really sucks at the moment, or this is the worst situation ever, or there definitely are no benefits to this. I mean, I've heard that a million times, you know. Don't talk shit, this is terrible, this is like a horrible situation, there cannot possibly be any benefits. Well, you know, that's not true. You can choose to believe that, and then you will be trapped in the world of illusion. And so the disciple is forever trapped in the world of delusion, and the master has the illusion uncovered. And if you want to actually master your life, and if you want to live a life of mastery, you need to be prepared to strip the illusions. 2 is, of course, a water number, so it's got to do with the emotions. So today you may find yourself being able to connect quite clearly with your emotions, or you may find your emotions somewhat overwhelming. Luckily, we've got the 1 from January that still has that analytical and inspiring and creative presence. Underneath the root of the life map, we only have fire numbers today. So we've got this fire with all the water on top. So you might find that your creativity is somewhat stifled today, or that you have wonderful creative ideas and you really want to put them into practice and you just want to get going, but somehow there's always something that seems to be getting in your way. That is part of the life map of today. Fortunately for us, the hero today is the 5, and 5 is the inventor. 5 is the one that can create something new out of thin air, basically. 5 is the one that can come up with something that no one else has thought about. 5 is the number of adaptation. 5 is the number of breaking down the old forms of thinking and being and doing in order to adapt to the new ones. So we have this adaptability that we can tap into today of the 5. 5 also loves a bit of an adrenaline rush. So if you can do something that is mildly exciting to you, or even very exciting for you, that will help to access that creativity that could be being stifled by all those emotions today. Remember, the easiest way to actually navigate your way through emotions is to allow yourself to feel them. Set a timer, give yourself a time limit, and just allow yourself to feel those feelings. Connect with where they are in your body. What do they feel like? What do they look like? Do they have a color? Do they have a smell? That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what your description is. What matters is that in trying to give a description, you are actually focusing on the feeling. The villain today is the 7. 7 is also an emotional number, however, it's a bit more aloof. So you may find yourself feeling as if you're cut off from other people. You may find yourself disconnecting from other people if you find that your emotions are too overwhelming. You may also find yourself not doing what you really want to be doing, or being authentic, or really allowing yourself to fully feel your feelings because you're frightened that it's going to make you look stupid or that it's going to make you look weak. So if you have a negative association with emotion, it's irrational, it doesn't make any sense, it has no purpose, it's not logical. You can hear I've got quite a few issues, right? If that's what you think, if you have a negative connotation around emotion, that 7 in the villain position is going to stop you from feeling them fully because you do not want to associate yourself with anything that you think is going to make you lose face, appear weak, or embarrass you in any way. So do guard against that. Safety energy lock number 2 is located on the ring finger. So if we hold our ring finger, we connect with the lung and large intestine organ function energy. We connect with the breath, which is what keeps us alive. We connect with being able to eliminate toxins, gaseous toxins through the lungs, food residues through the large intestine, and we connect to the emotion of sadness and grief. And underlying the anger and the frustration and the anxiety is usually some sadness and grief, something that we have to let go of, something that we find difficult to let go of. This is a particularly difficult time for many mothers and fathers because a lot of our children are going to university or college or leaving school and they're leaving home for the first time. And that is very emotional. And just because it happens to many people and just because everybody seems to survive it does not mean that you are not entitled to grieve for the loss of the way your family was when your children or child was still small or still living at home. So please be kind to yourself. You can hear I've also got a child that's doing that, right? And somehow I seem to be surrounded by people whose children are leaving home. And my daughter went to boarding school when she was 13, and I thought I was totally done with empty nest syndrome. And I was surprised to find that now that she's still away from home, but she's moving into her own place and she's driving her own car and she's cooking her own food and she's living completely independently from me now. I don't know, my heart is sore for that. I'm sad about that. And I'm scared for her also. Of course, I just want the best for her, but I know that life is going to knock her around a bit like it does all of us. That is difficult. It's difficult for us to undo those apron strings. And in fact, you may find yourself wanting to smother them at the moment, right? Because that's what twos do. So especially the mums, just back off a bit, right? And let them spread their wings and live their lives. I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll speak to you again tomorrow.